So hopefully I can record video. Yeah, looks like it worked. So I'm going to get the matcha tea. I'm recording a matcha tea. I'm recording a video about making matcha tea. So there's my matcha tea. I use dough matcha. Dough matcha. You could use any tea that you like. I just happen to believe it's good quality. The one I use. There's carnation milk, evaporated? Yeah, evaporated. Not the condensed milk, the evaporated milk. Condensed is much sweeter. You know, I don't think we want to use that. Now, typically, I will, if this is the first time I've used it today, if this were the first matcha tea of the day, I would add iodine to it, but I'm just going to use the maple syrup, which I also put in every time. And I always try to use salt as well. And I use a whisk. The bamboo whisk is amazing. A bamboo is the most amazing wood that you could imagine, I think. I mean, the whisk is made from... It's like a single piece of bamboo, I think. But it looks like it doesn't even look like it's bamboo. It looks like but it is. It's got glue, I guess, around the side here, around the bottom. But it's bamboo, natural bamboo that's been split into a whole lot of individual strands. Fibers. The fiber, and it's so strong that I think this will last a lifetime. It costs $20. It might last a lifetime. So the first thing I do is I get a teaspoon. I use a teaspoon for this. And that's how I measure the matcha. Okay. But I'm also going to do something I just started doing. I keep learning. But if I don't put the salt in at this point, it will end up sinking to the bottom, and it will end up at the very end when I lick the bowl, I'll get salt, and I don't want that. I want to lick the bowl, but I don't want to get salt at the end. So I'm going to put the salt in first. The amount that I think I want, whatever. You can put in a fair amount of salt, but just to your own taste. And then you don't have to have salt, but I believe it's after you try salt, you probably will want it. It's very good. So I put in a pretty large amount. I put in close to a teaspoon, but normally it's only half or something that people use. I use about one teaspoon, but I've been using even more than a teaspoon. I think I've been using quite a lot, but not much more. Probably no more than 2 teaspoons, probably, but probably less than 2 teaspoons, I would think. But anyway, now I use the evaporated milk with the whisk. So, evaporated milk, salt, matcha tea. Oh, you know what? I gotta break the evaporated milk film that formed there. Pour the evaporated milk in, maybe 1 ounce, 1 or 2 ounces, just enough and then to enable the whisking. And then whisk in both directions, reversing and going near the sides to incorporate. You're trying to emulsify. It's an emulsification that we're trying to achieve. And we never achieve it with matcha tea very fully. Maybe we do if we're using water. Some people have it with water. I'm using cream. And evaporated milk also, which is like cream. But I'm never going to emulsify it completely in here, but I'm going to try to get as many lumps out as I can by reversing, by going quickly. I'm going to turn on the boiling water. I forgot to do that. That's important. So we boil the water right at the start, before we start. And then, when I'm done with whisking, I shake the whisk out. I put it in the water, small bowl of water here, which has also got the matcha tea that I used to. It has the water that I used to clean the matcha whisk earlier, and that has some matcha tea in it. But I can now use that water, but I'm going to boil some water to get some more warmer water to clean it with, and then I'll drink that water later. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the spoon in now. And I'm going to stir with the spoon to make sure the salt is all incorporated from the bottom. And then I'm going to add my cream, 10% cream in this case. Could be 18%, sometimes it is. That's enough now. That's just about sort of 6 ounces or so total liquid. I maybe put 3 ounces of each of the cream and the evaporated milk, 3 and 3, and then 1 ounce of maple syrup. But I may even use, I don't think I use 2 ounces of maple syrup. That would be too much. But now I need to recycle. This is empty. This is empty, so I recycle it. Yeah. That's good. Now I'm done all the ingredients except for the maple syrup. So I'll put that, add that. That's about 1 ounce. Maybe, hopefully. I might have put a little too much. Whatever you want. But try not to overdo the maple syrup. This is boiling, by the way, because there wasn't much water there to boil. It boiled very quickly. Now I'm ready to, well, look at that. It's not really coming out, is it? I'm just trying to pour the water right over top of the whisk. You see, so I'm trying to get it to really clean the whisk by pouring it right on it. Then I will just whisk it a little bit, but I need to clean it with my fingers. And if I don't, it'll build up over time and it'll cake itself on. It won't ruin the whisk, but it will be harder to clean later if I let it build up. So I'm going to clean it all with my fingers here. And I'm using the boiling water, which is not quite hot enough that I can't dip my fingers in it momentarily. So I can use my fingers, and this boiling water isn't even boiling yet. That's why I could dip my fingers in so much. But if it were boiling water, I'd have to be quicker with my finger. I'd dip in much quicker like that to get the water that I could use to clean the whisk. Then I would just continue. I'd keep on till I was done cleaning, and now I'm done. So now I can drink some of that water. It's warm. It's got good matcha tea in it. I can drink it all right now if I want, but I might have more later, so I might leave it. If I drink it all, I'll have to clean the bowl. And I'm gonna put away the evaporated milk. Okay, that's it. I have more cream in the fridge, right? But I am gonna run out of cream eventually, and I'll have to shop. So that's it. I've made the matcha tea. Now I'm gonna try it. I think it might be pretty good here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's too sweet. Well, let me show you. Hang on. I have to hold this so I don't drop it. I almost dropped it. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's really good. It's pretty well the right amount of everything. In fact, I could have added more salt. But you don't need it to be too salty. If it has no salt at all, eventually it really bothers you, I find. The flavor becomes too bland or too sugary, is the other thing. But it's just too bland. So we're going to turn this. Have I got this on? No? I'm on my other. I have to go back. Yeah, my KVM switch. There we go. Okay, so I'm done. That's the end of that little segment. I'll stop the recording here. 9 minutes and 11 seconds.